girl, where you going? It's about us right now, girl, where you?
Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Angel and I'm back with another video today. So today I'm going to be talking about my life story, kind of. I filmed this once already, but I wanted to do it again because that thing was so long. I just didn't want it to be that long. I was ranting about different things and just going into so much detail that I don't think I really needed to go into sometimes. So I just want to kind of tell you the gist of it. Sometimes it's hard for me to just do a long story short kind of thing. You know, I like to go into detail and tell you step by step and all this, go in chronological order how things happen. But I'm gonna try and make it a little bit shorter this time while still letting you know who I am, what I've been through, and where I am now, where I'm going. So basically, like I said, my name is Angel. Currently, I'm 22 years old. I have 2 children. My son Amari, who is currently 3 years old, and my daughter Heaven, who is 1. She'll be 3 in a few months. And I'm currently engaged, and yeah, that's me right now. So when I was younger, let me tell you my siblings. So I was raised by my mom. Oh, by the way, I am black and white, so my mom is white and my father is black, just a detail. So I was raised with my white side of my family my whole life. So it was my mom. My mom had my older brother, my older sister, then me, then my little sister, and my little brother, and that's in order. And then my dad, he has 8 kids, and all of them are girls, and 1 is a boy. I did not grow up with my dad. I met him probably, I don't know, a couple, maybe 2 handfuls of times. So maybe maybe 10 times, maybe a little more. And that's only because he did end up moving closer to us and going to the same. So my mom was a Jehovah's Witness, and so was his mom. So his mom wouldn't make him come to the meetings sometimes when he lived with her. But I'm gonna get into that. So growing up, it was just my mom, her boyfriend, which was my brother and sister's dad, and me. And it was just all of us in the house. And I did not like their father. He made me uncomfortable, and we didn't have a father-daughter type relationship. The relationship was really non-existent. I didn't care for him. I would prefer that he was not there. Growing up, I generally didn't enjoy my childhood. Me and my mom, we didn't have a good relationship because due to the fact that she was always working. So we lived in a small town, and her work was in another small town, but it was 40 minutes away. It was a 40-minute drive. So it was just her and their dad. Let's call him, I'm so bad at this. Let's call him Rex, which is a dog's name, but we're gonna call him Rex anyways. If your name is Rex, I'm so sorry. Okay, so Rex and my mom, they both worked 40 minutes away. Actually, they worked for the same company, just at different locations, which was 10 minutes away from each other. But it was 45 minutes away from our house. So we didn't have anybody else to watch us. It was either Rex or my mom. So that would mean sometimes we had to be in the car for long periods of time, driving to my mom's work, driving to Rex's work, just being in the car, then the drive home. We were in the car a lot, okay, honey? And we had no cell phones back then. But basically, my mom, she worked a lot. And they didn't work at a big company. She worked at a beach store, okay? He worked at a beach store. She was a cashier, and he was a maintenance man. And so they didn't make loads of money, but she had been there for years, maybe I don't know, 10 years. So she did, get a decent amount of money for being a cashier. She was cool with the owners and everything, so it was cool. But that meant that since they didn't have, big fancy corporate jobs, or like careers or anything, that they had to work a lot. So she worked like 5, sometimes a lot of days, 6 days out of the week. So I didn't see her much. Unfortunately, we did see Rex a bit more than her. Um, and I don't remember what their shifts were like. That doesn't matter. Just know we didn't see her much. The relationship, it really wasn't good. And when we did see her, you know, she was a mother of all 3 of us. So she had a lot going on, just trying to pay the bills for our home and her relationship. I can imagine it was a lot looking back. I'm sure it was very stressful and hard to be there for all of us, you know, mentally and emotionally. So nonetheless, when we did get to spend time together, I just realized that there were certain things I couldn't share with her and tell her. And as I got older, I was about maybe let's just say 10. She started studying with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and that's when our life completely changed. And just to backtrack, like I said, I didn't know my dad really. I only met him like a handful of times. And I remember the first time I did meet him, I was maybe like 5, and my grandma, she was gonna go take me to meet him for the first time that I could remember. And I was so excited because we were going to meet him at McDonald's right by the house, and I could see his figure in the car, and I could see there was also a woman in the car with him. I thought it was one of my sisters. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get to meet one of my sisters. It wasn't. It was a girl it was a woman that he was seeing at the time. Don't remember her name, never saw her again. But that could have, like, I don't know. I just didn't like that he brought this random woman with him. It was awkward. And then after that, I don't remember when I saw him again. He had the option to be in my life, but like basically he chose not to, because I did see him sometimes. He did try to talk to me, but when we did talk, it was like awkward. We got in arguments because we talked online before. This was like when Facebook started to become a thing. We talked on Facebook, but just one time he just blew up on me because I called him dude. Like, I don't know. He definitely has some things he has to work through on his own, and it showed. And I don't know, I just didn't have the space for that, because first of all, like, you're my father, you weren't even in my life, and I barely know you, but we're already getting into arguments online. So yeah, I just didn't care to form a relationship with him after that. I did try to give him chances a couple times, but it just didn't work out. So anyways, going back to my mom studying to be a Jehovah's Witness, that was definitely a big thing that like made me the person I am today, and why I did some of the things that I did, and it just was a big thing. We slowly made the transition to, you know, living the life of a Jehovah's Witness, which is much different than not being one. So you don't celebrate holidays. You don't hang out with anyone that isn't a Jehovah's Witness unless you are teaching them to become one. So yeah, essentially, if you're not teaching them like about the Bible, or if they're not interested in becoming a Jehovah's Witness or interested in talking about the Bible, we ain't hanging out with them or associating with them, because they are good, potentially along the line influence us to do things that we shouldn't be doing. So we eventually stopped celebrating holidays, which when I was in school, which I went from school from kindergarten to 6th grade, and it was about 6th grade when we stopped, and I would tell my friends, you know, I don't celebrate holidays anymore, and I did get made fun of this one time, but it really didn't hurt me that much, but it did make me feel like different, which I've always felt. And yeah, that was a thing. And then after 6th grade, I was homeschooled. I was homeschooled from 7th grade to 9th grade, and I was still friends with all of my friends from elementary school. And my best friends, like, they would call me, tell me about like the first day of school, and tell me everything that was going on. And I realized, like, wow, like, this is when everyone's starting to get, like, you know, sexual, like, to they would be telling me some crazy stories that would be happening. I'm like, this happened in school? What? Girl. Like, they was giving me all the tea. But, anyways. But you know, it makes sense. This is when everybody's, you know, going to hit puberty and they're discovering their bodies, and a lot of things are happening, you know, around that time, because everyone was going to be like 13 or 14 when they were going into middle school. So yeah, but essentially, even though I wasn't supposed to be doing those kinds of things, I was still interested in getting a boyfriend and having friends, even though I wasn't supposed to. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't allowed to have any friends who weren't Jehovah's Witnesses, and I wasn't allowed to go and hang out with any of my old friends, or I wasn't even really supposed to be talking to them. But when I was going to the Kingdom Hall for Jehovah's Witnesses, I just didn't feel like I fit in there. I just didn't feel like I could be myself or do the things that I really like to do, or talk about things that I wanted to talk about. And yeah, so what was I saying? So yeah, I just felt like I couldn't be myself there either, and there was nobody there my age. Everyone was much older. So basically, I was like living a double life, you could say. So my mom, you know, to see me going to the Kingdom Hall and studying and on my way to becoming a Jehovah's Witness, but like there was still another part of me that was, you know, still secretly talking to my friends. I was making friends online because social media was, you know, growing, and I was like meeting different boys, like getting boyfriends, and not all at the same time, but you know, along the years. And yeah, I was a mess. And at that time, like I definitely really became depressed. I had been self-conscious. First of all, a couple things I want to talk about. I had been self-conscious about my body since 3rd grade, maybe earlier. I grew up in a small town, so it was not diverse there at all. You were either white or you were black. But my school, I feel like, had mainly white people, and that's mainly who I hung out with. I guess because that's who I grew up with. And I was just always comparing myself to them because I didn't look like them. My hair didn't look like theirs. It wasn't straight like theirs. My body didn't look like theirs. I wasn't as skinny as them. I felt like I was fat, and I just didn't look as pretty as them. And also my mom, she didn't buy name brand clothing, or I didn't have anything like, you know, fancy or nice like that. So at the time, you know, all the white girls, they had their Aeropostale and their Hollister and their American Eagle, and I'm up in there with my Kmart, okay, honey? And once I realized that, because someone pointed it out, they're like, where do you shop? I was like, Kmart. Usually that's where my grandma would take me shopping, Kmart or Walmart. And then she's like, what? Ew, you shop there? I was like, yeah. And I don't know, she just made me feel so bad about it. And then I realized, wow, like everybody, they kind of wear these name brands. I really didn't even know what name brands were, like which ones were what. That's nothing that my mom doesn't wear name brands. She like always wore Walmart clothing and Kmart and maybe whatever my grandma would buy her, JCPenney, stuff like that, but nothing like expensive. She wasn't into fashion or anything like that, so I didn't know what that was. Literally, didn't know. So yeah, so let me go back. I felt self-conscious from a very young age, and then I always felt different. I always felt different. As I got older, I began to realize that I looked different than everybody else in my family, and I noticed that when we would go out, people would think that I wasn't with them, and that like low-key hurt a little bit, because I was like, this is my mom. It was funny sometimes, and other times it hurt. It just led to me feeling more different than I already did. And then, you know, in school, I did have friends, but still, I don't know, I felt like I was different than everybody, and I would just say things I would say things and then I would be like, why did I say that? And then people would look at me like, why the fuck did you just say that? And I still do that today. And then, you know, when we started going to Kingdom Hall, I felt like I didn't fit in there either. And it just been like this my whole life. Like, why am I so different, you know? Sometimes I felt like it meant that it was a good thing, you know? I was meant for something greater, and I was just different than everybody. And that's what I have began to accept. And I am absolutely so happy about that. I don't know if everybody always feels like this. It's probably like not just me, I know that. But now I absolutely love it, and I'm so happy that I'm not like everybody else. Just a moment, because I need to go check on dinner. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so like I said, yeah, I always felt different than everybody, and I was really self-conscious. But now, honey, I have began a journey to self-love and just loving myself and loving my body and loving my personality and my soul and just getting to know myself on a deeper level, you know, and realizing that all those things that made me different and all those things that I was self-conscious about, I am learning to love like the most, and just, you know, like highlighting on those things because those are what make me special and what will take me further, you know? And, you know, just embracing everything. And I think that I'm actually gonna make this a 2-part video. This is gonna be part 1. And I want the first video, which is this one, and the second video to each, you know, just end with letting you know a lesson. For anybody that might, you know, relate or might wonder how they will ever get through it or learn to just, you know, how do I say this? If they feel like there's something like different about them and something wrong with them, maybe even essentially, wonder if it'll ever get better. And it definitely will if you choose for it to get better, if you want for it to get better, if you take the steps and make the conscious effort and just educate yourself more on becoming self-aware. So in part 2, I'm going to just kind of finish the rest of my life story and let you guys know a few other things that happened and what I learned from them. It'll definitely be a little longer. I'm gonna let you guys in on a bit more. Since I already filmed this once, I kind of don't want to do everything again. So I'm just gonna keep this first video kind of like a little teaser, a little short, but still just letting you guys know. I wanted to highlight those 2 things. If you're self-conscious now, it is completely okay and it's possible to change. I don't mean like change, I just mean learn to love it and learn to accept it, and not even accept it, learn to love it. And realize that being different is good, and whatever it is that you're self-conscious about, just know that everything does get better as long as you like have the mindset for it to get better. Then it's completely possible. You just need to be positive, and I want to give you like some ways that you can do that, not just telling you love yourself, you know, work on it. How can I work on it? Well, here's what I did. Let me just give y'all some little like helpful tips instead of just telling you to do it. Let me tell you how. Let me tell you how I did it. And this is not my life story, but I just want to end each of these parts by helping you, if you relate to this in some way. So get yourself some personal development books, some self-help books, and start looking yourself in the mirror, letting yourself know that you're amazing, I love you, and look at the things that make you different and see like I love writing, but I used to think that it was like lame and like it won't help me get anywhere, and it's not really a skill. People used to ask what I'm good at. I'm like, I don't know, like I'm good at writing, but that doesn't count. Yes, the fuck it does. And now that's something that I want to dedicate more time to in my life and write a book one day, very soon, and you know. And anyways, just look at those things that make you different that you might not like about yourself, and write them down. Write them down and write down the negative things that you think about yourself, and then rewrite it in a positive way. So, for example, I'm good at nothing. Rewrite it. I am actually amazing at writing, and that is something. I'm ugly. Rewrite it. I am beautiful and I love my curves. Look yourself in the mirror even though you feel absolutely silly, and I want you to say, I love you. You're a fucking badass, okay? And you're amazing, and you're gonna take yourself to some great places, okay? Let me tell you. Looking back, if you ask me if I want to relive my childhood, absolutely not. I did not enjoy it. I was so depressed, like 90% of the time. But at the same time, I know that it could have been worse. I know there's people that go through worse. So I hate to say that, but that doesn't make my experiences any better at the same time. It doesn't make them any better. But it does make me grateful for what I did have and what I do have now, and the lessons that I have learned from it, and the fact that I know I have a choice. I know I have a choice for the way that I want my life to be, and my life is a result of those choices. So just know that you always have a choice, and whatever you have in your life right now is because that's what you have manifested. So put out good vibes, and good vibes will come back to you. So thank you so much for watching part 1. I'm sorry it wasn't my whole life story. They helped whoever, you know, feels it, whoever this video resonates with, whoever feels the same way. And I don't want to just tell you guys like, oh, it's gonna be okay, life gets better and all this stuff. I want to tell you what you can do a little bit, and you know what I've done and what has worked for me. Part 2 is gonna be way longer, so get ready. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at AngelGillenOfficial. I post on there daily. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And hit the bell so you don't miss an upload. Okay, thanks guys.